Hi, everyone. That was absolutely incredible talk by Nadia. Right now, I have Angela Bunner with us. Absolutely incredible to have her here today. Angela is the VP of Solutions at ClickUp. She oversees solutions engineering, professional services, customer enablement. Angela's resume includes more than 20 years of experience in the project portfolio management and collaborative work management spaces at companies such as Oracle, NetSuite, and Clarizen. We are so incredibly lucky to have her today. So, Angela, please take it away. I'm looking forward to what you have to say.
Awesome. Thanks for being here. Let me see if I can make sure I can share my deck. Share screen. All right, I think you can see it, right? Let me know if there's a problem. All right, great. Thanks for joining me today. I'm super excited to chat with some folks that are here today. And what I want to talk about today is how to think like your customers to win, and kind of talking about the story of how we at ClickUp have done, I think, an amazing growth over the last 5 years with a product that really is focused on customers and why that's made a difference. You know, what does it mean to be customer obsessed? How can that customer experience really differentiate you in a crowded market? Because our space is probably the most crowded market out there. How active listening and dialogue can help you build trust, and how you can build a model where the product really sells itself and provides an environment that you're continuing to improve and ensuring the company's success. So let me just jump in. So as was just mentioned, I run the solutions team at ClickUp, and that includes both pre-sales as well as post-sales, making sure that our customers are finding the most value after they buy ClickUp, and that includes services as well as enablement. My background for the last 22 years-ish has been all in this project management, collaborative work management space. I'm super passionate about the productivity world. I love helping customers be more productive, and I've been at several big and smaller software companies, which I'll talk a little bit about that. And really, ClickUp is where I'm at now. And, you know, we're really focused on making sure that folks are productive. And the real differentiation from traditional tools is that we really are providing a platform for our customers to do all their work as much as possible, you know, like replacing all the application sprawl that's out there and being the one place to get your work done and collaborate with your team. So our mission statement is really to provide a single place and hopefully make people more productive and save time. All right, next slide. So as I mentioned, is it moving? Okay, there we go. Our space is pretty darn competitive. You know, productivity and project management, we think, and as far as what I've seen over the last few years, is one of the most competitive software industries in the world, if not the most competitive, maybe next to CRM. And over the last few years, especially with COVID, remote work, hybrid work, it's been even more competitive because a lot of vendors have come out of the woodworks trying to help solve this problem that universally everybody's trying to solve, which is increase productivity and solve the problem of collaborating with other teams, whether you're in the same office or virtual. Being able to collaborate, track work, be more productive. There's a plethora of tools out there. And so ClickUp, you know, 5 years ago had a lot of headwind to go against. It was a crowded industry. There's a lot of large established legacy players, a lot of bootstrap new tools as well. And how did we stand out against that pack? Our growth is really a testament to listening to our customers and following the product demand in order to do that growth. And, you know, one of the reasons why I personally feel like ClickUp's been one of the growth of ClickUp, compared to my history of tools, is that, you know, at Oracle, which we'd think of as more of a large established legacy player, the motion of the organization was sales focused, right? Like it was not product focused. And even when I joined Clarizen, it was very much a motion of product that folks loved, and we were building the sales motion. Over time, when you focus on the sales aspect of it and less on listening to the customers and the product, it becomes shelfware. You don't get the adoption that you need, because you're selling to the buyers on top and not necessarily listen to the users. And those are the ones that are going to drive the product and be successful. And I think that's where ClickUp's done tremendously well in a product-led growth motion, is listening to customers, collaborating with them to drive innovation and differentiation. So let's talk a little bit about the history quickly. ClickUp was originally built by our founders. Zeb Evans was trying to be more productive on his own. He had a plethora of tools. I think it was 12 tools that he was trying to manage. And early on, and actually several times, Zeb actually had several, near-death experiences. And so he realized the value of time. And he got frustrated with the app sprawl of having so many tools out there. And so productivity is really a passion. Him and his engineers actually built their own tool to manage work and collaborate with teams, started getting other peers in the industry and other teams using it. And they realized that the value of providing a single platform, an all-in-one platform, was not a problem that other people had solved well. And so all of this to say is that ClickUp has really naturally pursued that product market fit because we started by addressing the needs of ourselves. We were our first customer, and that's basically how ClickUp was founded. And we continue to evangelize our customers' needs when we're building the product. The other key aspect, I think, that's what's made ClickUp successful is the fact that we believe and we evangelize our core values as a company, and we share those with our customers. And the number one core value is about delivering the best customer experience. Zeb, from the top down, everyone in the company, and it's one of the key reasons why I joined ClickUp, is that, my focus has always been around how do I help my customers be more productive? Like my, favorite moment is when I'm working with a customer or a prospect and they have that light bulb go off where they see the value of the product and they are excited to partner with you, buy obviously the product and use it. And I love seeing the adoption post sales of like the value and productivity they're getting, watching and seeing those customer success stories. That's what's exciting to me and to everybody in the company. And that's what drives better product and innovation, right? So our core values really dictate that customer focused strategy. And our product focus and strategy is on how do we deliver that best customer experience? How do we grow 1% every day? Everybody in the company is trying to grow. We're trying to help our customers grow 1% by being more productive. And the other key value about being transparent is really key as well, because we want to make sure that our customers know what our product roadmap is. We want them to be vocal with us in providing that feedback as well, so that we can make sure that we're always building the best product for them. So how do we do that? In our development process, I think one of the key things in the success of ClickUp in building a customer-focused product that's going to drive your success is being obsessed with your customers and addressing their needs. Obsession with the customer goes hand in hand with achieving that product market fit. I always realize the image doesn't. It's not animated for you, but it's supposed to be animated, going around that life cycle of design and, evaluation and an iterative process of design and build. But basically, as I was saying, in the beginning stages of ClickUp, we grew completely organically. We had no paid marketing, no funding, which meant we were even more singularly focused on getting the product right. And when you're bootstrapped, you have to follow your product in order to be profitable and grow. And when you're operating with those core values, like I mentioned before, and focus on solving the customer's needs, making sure that the customer experience is the best, you do it well, and product-led growth is going to follow. You're going to find that your customers become your biggest advocates, and finding that natural product fit really lends itself to virality. If you go on LinkedIn or Twitter, or, any social media, you'll see that our Our ClickUp community is very active and vocal about ClickUp. And that's really what drives the flywheel of product growth when you have that type of evangelism from your users to help you attract future potential customers. Customer experience is really focused on three main aspects. I think when we look at how do we drive that customer experience to be the best, we look at three things: support, engineering, and design. And that's really best in class support, responsive to your users, innovative engineering that's using the latest technology and reliable, and design that's not only meeting the needs of your users today, but also thinking about how they're going to be doing things in the future. And this is especially true in software, right? But these principles can be applied across industries, whether it's software products, hardware products. I think everyone can attest to Apple and how they build the best customer experience throughout their entire, customer base with that philosophy in mind. All right. So what is it that customers are looking for in your product? I've kind of broken it down into these key characteristics because when I think about what makes a product successful and what customers are looking for, these are the key things that you are going to see again and again that are making products successful. Firstly, being a dependability. Like, obviously, it needs to be reliable, that you can count on uptime and the data to be accurate. Personalization is so key these days. Like, everybody's got mobile iPhones. You've got your, Hulu type accounts where everything that you're doing from an end user perspective, people want to be able to personalize it for themselves. Not only for themselves, but products need to be flexible for different types of teams so that you can collaborate and solve different use cases. And that's really a key feature that we've really embraced in ClickUp to provide that type of platform. Ease of use. Number one thing that I talk about all the time is if it's not easy to use, you're not going to get the engagement and it becomes irrelevant, right? If it's SaaS, if it's software, it becomes shelfware. If it's hardware, it just becomes out of date, right? It's all about how do we make it easy for users to use so that you drive that product virality and growth. It has to be accessible, whether it's on the web, whether it's mobile, in all different mediums. Again, your end users expect that accessibility and availability. I also think customizable offerings or templates of solutions are really key. Even though you have a standard or flexible platform, users want products that also give you best practices, that out of the box, you have something to start with, but you can also then take and then tailor it to your own. So it's a combination of being customizable, but also something that can be, provided with templates to get them going. And then fun. Like I mentioned before, like the market and the end user experience today across industries is really got to be fun. It's got to be an incredible design so that it's sexy. It's something that's going to engage your users on a daily basis. And that's really what's going to drive that success. The other aspect of product growth is constantly listening to your customers. And at ClickUp, we do this through several means. Firstly is we have a message board called Canny, where our users can go on and submit new feature requests. They can see what other people are recommending as workarounds and ideas. And it's also a way for our product team to give the user base visibility into what's in the roadmap. Our social media is really active, and we've got folks that are constantly monitoring it so that we aim to respond to requests or engagement out there. With 99% of posts that are out there, we're responding to. We also have customer success managers who are basically business partners to our larger accounts to make sure that the product is being adopted. We're monitoring usage in areas where folks, maybe aren't utilizing the product as much as they can, and pushing them to, use the product more, whether it's with, one-on-one sessions, with education, online resources, et cetera. And then we've also got customer advisory boards so that for specific areas of new product innovation where customers are willing to step up and say, hey, I want to be a partner I want to help you build out new features, new areas, new use cases. Listening to customers, strategic customers is really important. So that helps you and your product be more innovative and moving the product forward into new areas. How do you move forward is really important too, on how fast, right? Customer satisfaction obviously isn't static. You've got to be constantly thinking about what your users need, and those message boards, the customer advisory council, social media, there's a lot of input into how you're going to change that roadmap or how you're going to shape that roadmap. And in order to really be effective, you need to have rapid, agile development cycles. One of our core tenants at ClickUp, like I mentioned, was growing 1% every day, which means we're constantly improving not only internally our processes and our organization, but our product. We've got to grow and improve on a weekly basis. We're always making improvements to try and move the product forward. And with that agility, we're ensuring that our users always have, the latest features. How do we engage users in the first place? Is by providing what we think is a unique way of engaging users on a free plan, so that our end users can quickly get into the product, play with it, find value out of it. And in technology, especially these days, like that model is not new, but in the productivity space, it is relatively new. And that is how we've driven really quickly the growth that we've had at ClickUp, because once a user is in the product, they start seeing the value. They can then start growing the usage and start collaborating with their team members, and that engages other people, right? So it becomes, like I said, a flywheel of growth where you try it before you buy it and get your users hooked, and then decide, users then realize like, wow, if I could do it more and upgrade to a different plan, I can do even more, features or add more people on my team. It really becomes a growth engine that it's just it expands on its own, right? In order to build successful products, it's also a partnership between your teams and your active users. And when you see that feedback's taken seriously, like your users they trust you as a vendor. And I think that one of the examples that I wanted to quickly talk about was whiteboards. We recently launched this as a new feature in ClickUp, and it was really with the help of our users and those that were on the bleeding edge of productivity that said, you know what, we've got projects, we've got task management, documents, all in ClickUp. But one of the things that we're using external tools and we want to get in part of the ecosystem is how we manage whiteboards, how we are collaborating and brainstorming, diagramming before the work and the tasks are actually created, or while you're executing the work, needing to collaborate in this type of whiteboard space. That is how we built the whiteboards module with the customer focus group, listening to customers, beta testing. We hosted roundtables where they could share their features. And really with that community, we're able to quickly build a product, and we're continuing to iterate on that. And it's super exciting to see, new things all the time in the product based on customer feedback. So hopefully that was a quick little chat with, giving you some ideas of how ClickUp has really achieved product growth and, really the last 5 years. We've outpaced our competition as far as the growth in our customer base. And really, I think it's a testament to how we've focused on listening to our customers. We constantly are listening to customer feedback. We're leveraging that in our design process in the product. We're rapidly iterating with weekly releases, product managers and engineering is always listening to the customers, listening to the field, whether it's customers themselves or internally, the field organizations that interacting with their customers. Let the product speak for itself. Like I said, that freemium model works because the product speaks for itself. Users are out there trying it and using it, and they get excited about it. And that's what's bringing in, growth on new teams, expanded teams, enterprise deals, and whatnot. And really, to me, one of the key reasons why I love ClickUp is that we really value our customers and we build trust through that type of transparency and partnership. It's only by providing that culture internally in the company, as well as with our customers, of being transparent about, hey, these are the things that we're working on. These are, this is the vision of ClickUp. And listening to our customers is what gets them even more excited about the product and our future. And really, ensuring that everybody together are going to be more successful. I think that was my last slide. I have a few minutes here, it looks like, that I can open up to questions. Let's see. First question. How do you then expand them to a whole team? So with ClickUp, like I said, it is a very much bottoms up motion. So when one team gets hooked on ClickUp or starts using it and they see value really quickly, it's very easy for you to go in and add new teams, either in a self-service motion or to contact one of our sales reps to help you expand to the broader organization. We have a lot of customers that have come to us, and this is one of the reasons why I've joined ClickUp over the last year, is that we've had such momentum in the self-service market that we had more and more customers coming to us saying, hey, we want to use ClickUp enterprise-wide. Help me and show me how to use it in a different use case. Help me sell it to my upper management, because I'm outgrowing my use case that I have now. And now I need to use it more broadly. Are there any more questions? No. What were your challenges as an organization? I think the biggest challenge we had is growing over the last year to meet the needs of our customers. So the product was built basically in 3 years and grew tremendously. And over the last year, like I mentioned, we built an entire sales organization, support organization, customer success organization. When I started last March, we had about 150 people. By the end of the year, we were over 800. And that growth was really to scale to support our growing customer needs. Like I said, if you look at the charts of our growth compared to our top 4 competitors, like our curve was totally outpaced as far as where we are in the life cycle of 3 years time frame and how many customers we had. So one of the biggest challenges we had was being able to scale the organization to support the needs of our customers. And that's where we've done tremendously using ClickUp actually to onboard new people, get them out there and effective, and collaborating in a virtual world, right? Which is even harder. And being able to be successful and continuing to innovate and continue that growth. And so the fact that we are outpacing and overachieving our targets in all aspects, whether it's in sales, onboarding, adoption, and support tickets and response rates, the success across the organization, I think, is really a testament to ClickUp and being the platform that we collaborate, in this virtual world that we are. Because, I hired all of my team totally virtual, and so it's been super exciting to be able to have a platform that we can all collaborate and standardize on, while helping our customers at the same time. Whoops, I just closed that question on accident. Can you give insights on your renewal rates and net retention? Our net retention is actually, I think, industry leading at 150%. We are expanding faster than we are churning, which is really exciting. And being in this space, like I said, for 22 years and having replaced many other tools, that's unheard of. And the reason why I've left previous companies is just because it got demoralizing when your product was sold at the vision. And I was the sales engineer out there. So I was selling the vision and it became shelfware, or end users hated it and they started using other tools and just used your tool because they had to, right? Management told them, you got to go update your status. And then, team members are going out there and using XYZ tools. So that's why ClickUp, I think, has really done a really good job from a bottoms up motion, and keeping our eye on and listening to the end users, but also being able to grow to meet the needs of the top level buyers. It's a bottoms up motion as far as growing the product and innovating, but also meeting the needs of your buyers at the top level as well, so that you can support multiple use cases across the organization. And they are typically expanding after 1 year, or even sooner. You know, a lot of our accounts are just on a monthly basis adding users, because as they add teams, they're like, oh, we need more people on there. And I think one of the key things that grows for product virality is by collaborating and engaging other people. You know, the number of times I've heard stories of like, oh, you know, I saw that I was tagged in this task. By the way, one of the key things that we've done is we have guest users that are free licenses that you get a light access to the product, right? It's a great way to engage more users and people, so that when they're in the product, they're like, wow, actually, I want to do more. And that's how you really get the expansions. Even before like a year contract is up, you're continually adding more users. How do you implement a grow 1% mentality across your teams, making customer priority? I feel like everybody that, firstly, when we hire, I'm always looking for folks that are hungry to learn, personally, like hungry to help and grow the company, and folks that are genuinely, you know, focused on customers first. I think, you know, that type of hunger, integrity, and customer first mentality is really a core value that I'm looking for in people that I hire. And as we work as a team, we're looking at all the time what our customer feedback is, what is their success rate with customers. We've implemented surveying and CSAT across the organization, across the customer lifecycle, so that I make sure that during the demo and the pre-sale cycle, like getting feedback post-demo, post-win or post-close. How did we do? Why did we win or why did we lose? During onboarding, listening to our customers and how's the onboarding going during onboarding or after onboarding, and then post sales, you know, during adoption, like constantly on a quarterly basis, running CSATs and NPS, so that you're listening to customers. In addition to all the other meetings that I've talked about, like Canny, message boards, you know, customer advisory boards, and things like that. So having multiple touch points and surveying throughout the life cycle really makes everybody in the organization focused on customers and their voice, the voice of the customer. And we've got dashboards that kind of surface all that as well, so that you're always thinking about how do we improve that journey for them. Probably have time for one more question. Looks like we're done. No more questions. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate, you know, you sticking around listening, and asking questions. If you've got any more and you want to follow up, you can reach me out on LinkedIn. I'd be happy to talk more about ClickUp, talk about product growth, talk about my experience, or, you know, living in the Bay Area. So have a great day. Thanks a lot.